Two sperms are racing to reach the ovule. After a minute, one asks the other, "Hey, how much longer until we reach the ovaries?" The other answers, "Keep swimming. Fool, we haven't even passed the tonsils yet." Q. How did boobs got their name? From the top view, it looks like a B. The front view looks like ooh, and the side view looks like a B. Three boys were discussing their father's favorite foods. The first kid said his father loves to eat burgers. The second boy said his father loves KFC. The third boy said his father loves to eat light. The other two boys questioned how his father does that. The third boy replied, "Every night I hear my daddy tell mommy to turn off the light so he can eat it." Feet Iron Nail. Male man. VA male Iron Man. I have been having sex with Iron Man. A woman seated herself in the psychiatrist's office. "What seems to be the problem?" the doctor asked. "Well, she stammered. "I think I might be a nymphomaniac, I see," he said. "I can help you, but I must advise you that my fee is $80 an hour." "That's not bad," she replied. "How much for all night?" A man walks into a bar and the bartender says, "If you can make that horse over there laugh, you can get free drinks for the rest of the night." The man walks over, says something to the horse, it laughs, and he walks back over to the bar to collect his free drinks. The next night, the man goes back to the bar and the bartender asks the man if he can make the horse cry. The man walks over, does something to the horse, and it starts to cry. The bartender asks, "How did you make it cry?" The man replies, "Well, to make the horse laugh last night, I told it I had a bigger dick, and to make it cry tonight, I showed it." Worried about their less than exciting sex life, a young wife sends her husband to a therapist who winds up treating him with self-hypnosis. To her joy, everything gets much better. However, she can't help but notice that each night, just before their lovemaking, the husband dashes out to the bathroom for several minutes. This torments her until finally, one night, she follows him. There, in front of the mirror, she finds him applying this therapeutic technique. "She's not my wife. She's not my wife. She's not my wife." If you were born in September, it's pretty safe to assume that your parents started their new year with a bang. A representative for a condom company is on her way to a convention. While rushing through the airport, she drops the briefcase carrying her samples of condoms all over the floor. As she is stuffing all the condoms back into her briefcase, she notices tourists giving her crazy look. "It's okay," she says, "I am doing a huge convention." A little boy and girl are sitting in a bathtub together. The girl looks down and asks, "Can I touch it?" The boy replies, "No, you already broke yours off." A lady sitting in the dentist chair told the dentist, "I would rather go through the pain of childbirth than have you drill in my mouth." The dentist replied, "Well, you had better make up your mind so I can adjust my chair." I told my wife that I would get a tattoo on my pecker of a $1 million bill. This way, she can blow $1 million without leaving the house. There once was a man named Sweeney. He spilled some gin on his weenie. That being uncouth, he dipped it in vermouth and slipped his wife a dry martini. A traveling salesman asked a farmer to spend the night. The farmer agreed, but told him he would have to sleep in the barn. The farmer, being a nice guy and knowing how horny traveling salesmen get, told the man, "Look, son, see that wall? It's got 3 holes in it. You can screw the first 2, but don't mess around with that third hole. Got it?" The salesman thanked him and bedded down on a pile of hay. About midnight, he got real horny and decided to take a poke at the first hole. It was good, but not really satisfying, so he took a poke at the second hole. It was even better, but he still wasn't satisfied, so he thought about the third hole and reasoned to himself, If that first hole was pretty good and the second hole was even better, I'll bet that third hole will really do the trick. The next morning, the farmer noticed the salesman was still sleeping, so he went about his chores, and late in the afternoon, he finally saw the salesman wake up. "Damn, son, you've been sleeping a long time. What happened?" "Well," the salesman replied, "I should have listened to you. I got horny last night and tried that first hole, and it was pretty fair, but not really satisfying, so I tried the second hole. It was good, but didn't do the job, so I took on that third hole. Say, what's behind them holes anyway? Son, that first hole is my sheep, Dolly. The second hole is my mare, Sally. And that third hole is my milking machine, and that thing don't quit till it gets a quart." What's the difference between a pregnant lady and a light bulb? You can unscrew a light bulb. A boy was going through his grandmother's wallet one night and found her ID card. "Grandma," he asked, "how much do you weigh?" His grandmother replied, "That's not an appropriate question, Jimmy." He then asked, "How old are you?" She again replied, "That's not appropriate, Jimmy." Finally, he asked Grandma, "Why did Grandpa leave you?" Before she had time to answer, Jimmy looked at the card and said, "Oh, I see, it's because you got an F in sex." A hippie backpacker from the Swiss Alps was tramping across a farmer's field when it got dark. He asked the farmer if he could spend the night. The farmer agreed, but said he would have to sleep in bed with his 18-year-old daughter. The farmer told him, "If I catch you molesting my daughter, I'll shoot you." That night, the hippie and the farmer's daughter got it on and had a great time. The farmer could hear the goings-on from the next room. In the morning, he opened the door and asked the hippie, "Did you have sex with my daughter?" The hippie was a Jesus freak, so he decided to be honest. "Yes, I did. Please forgive me." The farmer took the hippie out back of the house and pointed a shotgun at him. "Ya got any last words, bub?" he asked. The Swiss hippie said, "Yodele hee hoo." Then the farmer shot him. When the sheriff arrived, he asked the farmer why he shot the man just for having sex with his daughter. The farmer replied, "Well, I didn't really have a problem with him screwing Bonnie. I was just gonna scare him a little, but when he said, 'You're a lady too,' that's when I blew his head off." A girlfriend walks out of the shower and says to her boyfriend, "Honey, I shaved myself down there. Do you know what that means?" The boyfriend says, "Yeah, it means the drain is clogged again." Two girls and a boy are playing doctors and nurses behind the shed one day. The little boy suddenly drops his pants and shows them his penis. One girl screams and runs away. The other rolls her eyes and proudly scoffs, "Poff, that's nothing." "My daddy's got two of those." "What?" says the boy, "Two." "Yeah, two," replies the girl. One for going pee-pee and another for cleaning the nanny's teeth.